Good morning, friends. How are you today? I'm doing good. It is Sunday. It is the 19th of June, and this is Chart of the Week video number 136, I think. That's what I wrote down, so hopefully that's right. How you doing? Did you get lots of stitching done this week? I didn't. I got to apologize for no video last weekend. It was a very busy weekend. It was busy at the shop on Saturday, so I didn't get the video made then. Sunday we had Hayden's baptism, so we were gone out to the farm most of the day. We did some yard work because the weeds are kind of overtaking everything. Well, it's not necessarily weeds. The grass is growing up in the few flower beds that I still have. So we did have to we had to pull some of that and get rid of it, and so that it just kind of the weekend went by and I didn't get a video made, so I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll understand. But I'm here today. I am at home because I just wasn't ready to get a video done yesterday before work. I had a couple of mail orders that I had to get out. As it turns out, I didn't have to get them out because the mailman had not bothered to show up even by 2 o'clock. I had put in as a business, I don't know if you can do it as a personal, I don't know, a non-business, but I can put in a request for pickup, which I had done Friday evening. I requested a pickup for Saturday, and by 2 o'clock they hadn't shown. I know my regular mail person was on vacation, and things just seem to go to hell in a handbasket when she's not around. So no one showed up. I did stuff it into my mailbox and left a note saying it was outgoing mail, so that it would at least go out on Monday instead of Tuesday when I'm back in the shop. But I got a notice at about 6:30 last night that they had picked it up. Now whether they actually had, I don't know, because a lot of times they will say they picked it up and they haven't. So for those of you who had ordered and maybe were expecting it to go out yesterday, I don't think it did. So hopefully on Monday, fingers crossed. So anyway, all that garbage to say, I'm sorry I didn't get a video made last week, and then this is why we're doing it on Sunday this week. So anyway, 164 comments, people, from the last video. Awesome. It was so much fun to read through why you're attracted to one over the other, and I want to especially thank those of you who are not sampler stitchers, because you played along too, and I appreciate that greatly. So which I'm glad you liked the question, because we're going to do part B today. So I'm hoping you'll all play along again, and then I'm going to compile all the information, and then I'll share with you why I was asking. So Connie's in town, and she thought it was going to be a which chart should I stitch next sort of question, but that's not the reason. So but I'm not going to share it, and I'm not going to tell which one I'm choosing until the next time after I've got everything compiled. I want to try and do a spreadsheet so it's a little more clear, the information that I'm looking for. I'm probably going to have to get either Adam or Alex to help me with that, because I don't know how to do that. So anyway, again, thank you so much for all your comments, and I hope you will play this week's game too. So I've got a few comments that I wanted to comment on, and then we'll move on to this week's chart of the week, and then the question of the day. And then I'm hoping it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. Dan is going to head to a College World Series game here in another couple hours with Alex and Emily. And I'm hoping to get Connie over here, and maybe we're going to do a video showcasing what I've been working on, and what we bought at the antique, on our antique excursion, because I think I've got 2 or 3 trips sitting over here, and I'd really like to get them out of my kitchen, but I tend to keep them here so that it reminds me that I haven't shown you all the treasures that I found. So hopefully she'll come over, because she's not doing anything, I don't think, and we'll get a video made. I also need to apologize in advance if you hear some noise. Dan is working on getting a light fixture up in the guest bathroom upstairs. I think that's maybe the last thing that needs to happen, and then that remodel that wasn't supposed to be a remodel will be finished. So we'll have 2 fully finished bathrooms. This one down here still needs a new floor, but I want to do the whole main floor, because right now we've got 1, 2, 3 different types of flooring on the main floor, and I would like to make it all the same. And this floor in the kitchen is getting pretty beat up, so it's time. But probably won't happen anytime soon. Okay, comments. I don't want to bore you with a lot of chit chat, although one of you did say you really enjoyed the chit chat. So if you did, watch for the next video that will come out after this, which should be a Connie and Julie video. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So Lisa Kay offered to go antiquing with me, but she works Monday through Friday, so she didn't know if that would work with my schedule. And I do generally try and go on Mondays, unless I'm going with Dan, and then we go on Sundays. So probably your schedule wouldn't mesh with mine at this time, but I will keep it in mind should things change. And Patricia Stevens also said she would be happy to go with me. I'm not sure where Patricia lives. I know Lisa lives here in Omaha. I'm not sure where Patricia lives, but she said she'd go too. So I'm glad there are others who enjoy antiquing. I was going to say something about the antiquing trip Connie and I went on, but I'll save that for the next video. That's not what this video is about. Mickey V says I should check out the antique shop in Plattsmouth. Someone else, it might have been you, have already suggested that. And I know Connie and I were planning to go tomorrow. I have a hair appointment at 11 o'clock. So we might try and go someplace after that, depending on what Connie's schedule is for tomorrow. I know she had a couple of, when she's in town, she likes to do some doctor appointments and stuff. So I know she has a couple of appointments. So we'll have to see if that's going to work for tomorrow. Elaine, she said that when she was talking about the 2 samplers, she was talking about the alphabets, and she said if she wanted to do an alphabet sampler, she would take out her Harriet salt and finish that. And I just wanted to say, Elaine, one of my stitching friends, Mary, finished Harriet salt. And she is kind of off red samplers and alphabets at the moment, because Harriet is huge and it's a ton of alphabets and it's all red. And so it would tend to put you off alphabets for a while. So Createful scolded me and told me I need to eat my vegetables, and I'm sorry, but that's just not going to happen. My mom forced me to eat vegetables when I was young. It didn't work then. I would just sit at the table until bedtime. It's not going to work now. They just taste like dirt to me. I have tried. Now maybe sometimes I can drown a green bean in Velveeta cheese and eat it that way. But you kind of lose any nutritional value it had when you're drowning it in Velveeta cheese. So, and Mom used to make them, I would I would choke them down. She used to put, I don't know, half and half or cream and some butter on the green beans, and I would choke them down, but it wasn't something I would just, oh, hey, green beans. No, that's not going to happen. Sorry. Johnny Miller asked if Dan has given up stitching. I wouldn't say he's given it up. I would say he's been busy with the bathrooms, and that sucks up pretty much all of his time. Right now, he would say it's because I haven't found him a sailing ship chart. A couple videos back, I showed a clock case, mantle clock. They've got the kind of the hump, and it's missing all its parts, and he wants to put a sailing ship because around the opening where the clock face would be has a ship's wheel. But it's going to have to be tiny, really, really tiny, and he wants a very detailed picture. So I haven't found anything that I think is going to work, because that opening is maybe 4 inches around at the most. I haven't found one detailed enough. He likes to stitch on 32 count, so it can't be like an over 1 kind of thing, or even on 40 count, because he does not like 40 count. He likes to work with 2 strands. So I don't know. I don't know if that's what he's waiting for. Then it's probably, yeah, he probably has given up stitching. But Ginger Giant, you made me chuckle with your comment about shouldn't the question of the week be, hey, you got $1? Maybe it should have been. Maybe. Tina Jensen also made me chuckle with her comment about these boots were made for walking. I've seen her several times this week walking past my door in the boots. She's been wearing a mask this week, which she didn't have a mask on the last 2 times she's been in. She was wearing a mask, so it makes me wonder whether she wasn't, currently sick with COVID. I still haven't figured out where the heck she's coming from or where she's going. But I did see her walk by several times wearing those boots and wearing skimpy black skirt and top with the mask. And it's like been 100 degrees here this week, so she had to be hot and not in a good way. Just saying. Janae wanted me to talk more about stitching over 1 on 40 count. Janae, I will do that in the next video where I'm showing my stitching, and I will talk more about that if you want to take the time to watch that one. Like I said, I'm hoping it will happen today. It might not get posted until tomorrow because I want to post this one first. And for some reason, when you post a video, they do the checks at the end to make sure you don't have any copyright issues. And mine have been taking 4 or 5 hours for it to check. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong that's causing that, but it's taking probably 6 or 7 hours for my videos to actually, after I finish them, to actually be ready to post to YouTube. So I won't probably be able to get 2 of them done today, but I can work on the second one tomorrow and hopefully get it posted tomorrow. Jay Malone mentioned that I had said something about ripping out all my projects and starting them over again. I think maybe there's a misunderstanding about what I said. I was ripping out a pretty big error in my one project and starting it over again. I wasn't doing anything different to it. I was just repairing a mistake. If I see a mistake, I don't try and fudge it. I rip out and fix it. And I think it was one of my over 1 projects that I was referring to, and ripping out over 1 on 40 count is not fun. So I'm sorry for any confusion on that. And finally, Becky said she wished I had read the verse on one of the samplers last week, and Becky, I'm sorry. I didn't even think about it, and I will try and keep that in the back of my head for future videos if I'm doing a sampler with a verse on it, that I will read that. So that was the few comments that I wanted to comment on. Like I said, as far as the question of the week, I will address that. I'm just going to wait for part B, because I need that information. I need the part B information in order to gather all my research. So how about we start with today's chart of the week? It's not a sampler. It is called Summertime from Primrose Cottage Stitches. It looks like this. And I thought, it being summertime, and there are a lot of stitchers out there who like to stitch the bright and cheery stitches, not necessarily samplers. So I do try and pick different types, even though this would not be my choice of something to stitch. I think it's cute. I love the bright colors. It just, in my house, would not go anywhere. I tend to like darker colors, and not necessarily prim, but a little more rustic design in my house. So while I admire that and think it's pretty and cute, it's not to my taste, but I know a lot of you like that sort of thing. So that's why I chose it today. The colors, let's see, let me open up this piece of paper. The colors are very bright and cheerful. Look at, I didn't have a, what's that word I'm looking for? It's round and circular. A ring, a book ring. I didn't have one handy, so I just put it on a knife, and to be quite honest with you, I kind of like it, because then you can see all of the colors. So that is the color palette. It's very pretty, kind of sherbety. That's a new word, sherbety. Information on this design. Like I said, it's all DMC. The stitch count is 123 by 120. It calls to be stitched on 25 count white, which is usually 25 count. They do make it in linen. Not many people carry that, but they do have even weave in 25 count. So I'm pretty sure that's what she might have been stitching it on. And your finished design is going to be about 9 7/8 by 9 5/8. So it's not perfectly square, but close. What else can I tell you about that? That's pretty much it as far as informational goes. So, and it called for white. Now, I did not have any white in 25 count. White is very hard to find right now. It's been back ordered at Yarn Tree for a long time. So I grabbed antique white, which I prefer the antique white over white. White is just too stark for my tastes. You guys might love it, but so this is 25 count antique white Lugana. And looks very pretty. Now, some of you are probably looking at this and saying, but Julie, that's not going to show up. And you would be correct, except for the fact that that is only used on the inside of the banner. That I can tell just from looking at this. Possibly the polka dots on the yellow polka dot bikini. She wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. Yeah, I won't finish that. Don't want you to have to cover your ears. So anyway, that is the antique white. Let's So you can see what the called for looks like, sort of, since it's supposed to be white. The next thing would be black. This is 25 count, I believe. Is it 25 or 28? 25 count black Lugana. And the colors would all be pretty on there. Gives it an entirely different look, but it would still be very pretty. But I know some of you don't like stitching on black, so you wouldn't probably appreciate that particular combination. Next up we have 28 count Star Sapphire Jobelan, which is a pale greenish color and looks like that. That would be very pretty and sherbety. I'm kind of fond of this next one, color-wise. This is 14 count Peep Pink. Say that fast 3 times. Peep Pink. I can do the Peep fast. I can't add the pink in very quickly. So it's a pale pink. And I think it would be really pretty. These colors look much better on bright colors. So it looks really pretty on this pink. There's also a little bit darker pink. This is Touch of Pink, and this is a 32 count. This is a real stiff linen. It's a Wichelt color, but it's a pretty pink, and it would look nice also if you like pink. I'm kind of in a pink mood. Connie asked me yesterday why. I don't know why, but I kind of am liking pink right now. So I think that would be pretty. For those neutral lovers out there, this is 40 count Sand Newcastle. Maybe we'll turn it this way. Oops, 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 oops. Falling. There you go. And they look fine on there. It just isn't going to be that bright and summery look that I think these colors kind of scream out for. Okay, this next one is 32 count Melody. It is from Stephanie, and I have 2 different dye lots on here. The first dye lot looks like this, which is way more pink, and this is all I have. It may be big enough to do one, but I'm not gonna guarantee that. But the colors all look really pretty and sweet on there. The second dye lot of that is way more yellow, orange, purpley. Looks has more colors to it. But the colors would be fine on there also. Getting down to the bottom. This next is 40 count Murmur from Picture This Plus. It's a very pale peachy color, and it would be beautiful with these colors. And the out of the box, kind of different sort of color would be 32 count Gina from Stephanie. And it's kind of a rich turquoisey, tealy with hints of purple and pink in it. and they would look good on that too. That is the end of your fabric choices. So which color was your favorite? I kind of lean towards either the Murmur or the pink or the antique white. Those would be my personal favorites. So let me know what you think. And now I got to put you to work. That I do. It'll be fine though. You just need to think just a little bit and then write out a response. You did so good last week. I so appreciate it. And really, I was amazed by the number of comments. 164. It's wowzers. Can we beat it this week, do you think? Probably not, because that's actually 2 weeks worth of comments. So I don't know that if I do the video next weekend as scheduled, I don't know if you can beat yourselves, but I'd like to see you try. Okay, so today I wanted to choose something the opposite of a sampler, because I know that not everyone stitches samplers, not everyone likes samplers. Some admire samplers but don't stitch them. I was that way for a very long time. While I admired them, I didn't stitch them, and I'm somewhat particular about the ones that I will stitch. Not all of them appeal to me. So this is not a sampler for those of you who are not sampler stitchers. But for those of you who are sampler stitchers, I'd still like you to play the game. So here we go. I chose 4th of July patterns this time. They're both kind of similar in content. And again, I need you to tell me which one you would choose and why you would choose that one over the other one. What you like, what you don't like about each one. The more information I have, the better. This is a Shannon Christine design. It's called Red, White, and Blue. This is a digital picture. It's got a lovely barn, 2 blue vehicles. I'm going to assume those are supposed to be like fireworks. Couple of trees. It's got a flag, some stars. Very cute design. So I'm going to let you have a good long look at that one. Okay, and size-wise, it's 123 by 89 stitches, so it's not huge. If you stitch it on the 14 count called for, it's going to be about approximately 9 by 6.5. So not big. It's not a big stitch. Okay, and the other chart is called Patriotic Picnic from Primrose Cottage Stitches. Again, similar content. It's the 4th of July. It has a truck. It has her version of, I'm assuming those are fireworks going off. This one does have a border and words. It's got a wagon. I think, I'm not wearing my glasses, but I'm thinking that's maybe a dog. A dog in the wagon. Got a 4th of July cake and balloons. And then I'll hold the 2 of them up. And this is a picture of an actual stitched piece, near as I can figure. So, they're both very similar. Both have blue vehicles. Both have some version of fireworks. This has a border at the bottom. This has a border all the way around. Different motifs. This has trees. But both have a flag. So, looking at the 2 of these, which would you choose to stitch if you had to, and why would you choose one over the other? What's your process? What are you thinking? Again, I have one that I gravitate towards more, but I'm not going to share that until next time. So, again, thank you for all the lovely comments from last week. It was a lot of fun reading through them, and I hope you guys took the time to read through them also, because it's very interesting. So the rest of my weekend, like I said, I'm going to try and do a video. It'll take me a while to get it set up. I've got to call Connie and see if she wants to come over. And then I've got to work on, I've got to get some hamburger out for dinner. I asked Dan what he wanted for his Father's Day meal, and he asked for a patty melt. So I've got to get my hamburger thawing. He also wants his strawberry shortcake. I do I use a little bit different cake part for my strawberry shortcake, and that's the only one he'll eat. And same with me. I don't like most strawberry shortcakes, but I use a Grand's biscuit, and you dip it in. You dip the top and the sides in butter, and then roll it in sugar, and use that for your biscuit, your cake part. And so he always asks for that for Father's Day or his birthday, which is in July. So I've got to get that taken care of, make a video, maybe do a little stitching. Depends on what time I can get Connie over here. And haircut tomorrow, maybe a little antiquing with Connie, I don't know, we'll see. That pretty much takes care of my weekend again. Did a little work out on the front porch last weekend. I took everything off the front porch and then hosed, put the end thing on the hose and power washed the, well, it's not, I guess technically not power washed. I didn't have a power washer. But I put it on jet, and I hosed off the front of the house because it was filthy. And the front porch and the chair that was out there. And so I'm trying to clean up the front area and make it look a little less jungle-like and filthy dirty. And it must have worked because we had a lady walk by. I suppose I should preface this by saying that our yard was a mess last year. We had 2 huge maple trees that had managed to kill out pretty much the entire front and side yards of grass. It was just mud and ravines from the rainwater washing dirt away and stuff. So we had the trees removed because the roots had all come to the surface, which was what was killing it. And as much as I hated to lose the trees, I needed the yard to be a yard again and not a mud puddle. So last year the yard looked pretty rough. It was just mud because we were just getting the grass growing again, and we put in a sprinkler system. So it took most of the summer last year to get it looking decent again, and this year it looks pretty good, except for right where the tree in the front was. The roots are just so big. They ground it down as far as they could, but it's going to be a while before grass will grow in that area. So we're working on putting a little berm in there to make it look a little better. But a lady walked by. Again, I get distracted. A lady walked by the other night, and she asked us if we had been here for a while or if we had just bought the house. I think she thought that the previous owners had let it go pretty bad, and that those previous owners were actually us. And we said no, we'd been here for 25 years, and she said, "Oh, well, the yard's looking really good." I'm sure it kind of embarrassed her a little bit. And but it is looking better. But the front of the house was looking kind of, so I've been trying to clean it up and add a few pots of flowers and make it look a little more inviting. When I didn't own the shop, I had more time for that sort of thing, and it's just kind of been ignored. But this year it was getting to me, so I finally did something. So anyway, that was another part of last weekend and what I was doing. This weekend I'm not planning to do much because it's too dang hot out there to do any. Even early in the morning it's really hot, but I do have some metal drawers I need to sand down. And I was going to do that this morning, but then I thought, well, I better get this video made or it's not going to happen. So, anyway, I hope you're having a great weekend. I hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you in advance for answering this week's question. And again, for the marvelous comments from last week. And just to let you know in advance, there will not be a video the weekend of, the 4th of July is on Monday. That weekend prior, the Sunday, Monday, there won't be a video that weekend. I will be out of town. I got to take my dogs away from the fireworks. So, there may be Wi-Fi there. But I don't know whether it's good Wi-Fi or not. So I don't know. We'll just count on there not being any video that weekend. So that's just my advance warning to you. There should be one next weekend. And on that note, I will let you go so you can continue on with your weekend. And I will give Connie a call and see if she'll come over and do the video with me. Otherwise, I'll struggle through it alone because Dan won't be here to help. Which I know you like to see him, but he'll be gone. Probably killing himself with heat stroke. Because again, 99 degrees. The feels like temperature is 104. And they're sitting in the sun. So he ought to be good and sick by the time he gets home. All right. Take care until next week. And get lots of stitching done. Bye.